What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I have pretty much beaten Master Duel to this point. I have completed the Duel Pass. I am Platinum 1, the highest tier, all with Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, not the most common deck in the top-rated ladder, where you're seeing Eldritch, Skill Drain, Vanity, Emptiness, VW, with Calamities, Max C's going everywhere. So I'm going to say my tips and tricks that I did to get up to this point, stacking up those gems as well through free-to-play grinding. I did all of this free-to-play, and I want to point out real quick the future of this, because a lot of people are getting starry-eyed with the crafting system and saying, oh, you can get all of these things that you want. Initially, yes, but I'm looking to the future. There's a set called Burst of Destiny that is, so impactful, and while you can go for staples and go for all this other advice and craft it all later, think about this. You're getting about 3 full power decks with the free-to-play system right now, but if another thing came out with 3 different ultra rares and you're low on gems and crafting material, you're going to have to start giving up the decks you currently have, and then down the line be paying a lot more. Take advantage of right now in this generous system, because look at this, the best deal in the future is $80 for just 5,000-ish gems, under that, and then a pack is 100 gems, 10 packs is 1,000 gems, there's no discount, and then opening 20 total gives you that guaranteed ultra. If pull rates get worse in the future, you can stack up on crafting material right now, sure, but if it gets worse in the future, this is insanely expensive to end up crafting future decks, and look at what happened with dueling. So right now, I am just grinding my free-to-play account up. After the free missions and login missions, I will have maxed out my free holding gems, because you're only able to hold up to 10,000 at a time. Not a lot of people are pointing this out, because not a lot of people have to worry about it. We're not all free-to-play grinders, right? But in the current deals, the best deals that happen to be mostly free gems, they go over that amount, and you have to spend them in 30 days if you go over the amount of free gems. You get to keep them with that cap, but that is currently held gems, not lifetime. The system is pretty darn generous, to be fair. Let's go ahead into the deck that I actually played for all this, and you might notice some really awesome extras here that I was able to get through the game free, including a dual field that I really like from the World Legacy lore. We'll point out different kinds of accessories that I've gotten later, but the deck that I was playing was Phantom Knight BA, and it's not really all that complete, but I did enjoy certain aspects of this deck I put together. I'm playing 2 Droll and Lockbird. Sometimes I would have to desperately use this against Max C, but overall, this shut down a lot of decks and rated to be unable to continue their plays. 3 tour guides, I did craft all of these instead of pulling them, but the Phantom Knight BAs, I did mostly pull. I have 2 graphs and 1 seer. I could up this to a 2nd seer, but I did like the disruption Farfa made. It won me a lot of games, and sometimes when seer is stuck in my hand, I go through Cherubini to Libic to summon out of my hand as an extender play, and then my Cherubini is free to send anything from my deck and start my Phantom Knight engine early. I have 2 cloaks, I have 3 boots, and I also play 2 gloves. I really like 2 gloves in this deck, and playing the extra send material between swords and wings. I like the superior extenders through certain plays of being able to dump these and continue up routes, especially through disruptions. I play 1 Ash Blossom, kind of want more of them, especially with Maxi. I play 1 Jackalope and 2 Snakes. You want this ratio, because if you're playing 2 Jackalopes, well, the second one can become quite useless very often. And then I'm playing a Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker. If you have a level 3 on board, these are always useful. If your tour guide is getting stuffed by Imperm and Veiler, you're able to summon these and continue up into Cherubini. Cherubini's send effect is a cost, which doesn't get blocked, really. Then we have the Phantom Knight of Stained Greaves. This is a very great extender popping out of the hand, and then also helping stuff like gloves that get stuck in your hand sometimes get onto the field, and he actually has a boosting effect behind the Xyz. And then one of the stars of the show, we have Phantom Knight of Torn Scales. This guy does it all. He's getting stuff out of your hand, he's putting stuff in the graveyard from deck, and I play 1 Nibiru as well. Again, with the hand traps, I kind of want to up the ratio. I'm even thinking about adding Crossout Designator into the deck. I have 1 Reinforcement Army, 1 Desires, which you get through the game. I think I might have packed this though. And then I have the lightning storm that came with the bundle deal from gyms early on. I have one emergency teleport. I actually was playing 2 earlier, but I went down to one of these, and then 2 called by the grave. I did craft these. I'm playing a second. It's the only reach into OCG format I'm currently doing, and I'm doing it mainly because of Max C, but this is great against the Eldritch matchup. Having this whenever they're doing Eldritch plays really just stifles how they're able to play against you and often lets you punch for game. Now, Fogblade is a negation that you have easy access to that also will be an extender later by bringing cards back from the graveyard to the field. Imperial Order is a one-of that just shuts out games, not being able to play spell cards. A lot of decks rely on those spell cards. In the extra deck, my BA engine is Dante. I am bothering to play Beatrice to go up also into Purple Dante. This fusion is so powerful, and it took a lot of people and rogue decks that I didn't expect the matchup of by surprise and really won me a lot of grind states. I am then playing 2 Phantom Knight Breaksword to go along with Raider's Knight, which can become your second Breaksword, allowing for the Eldritch matchup when they don't have skill drain to get through that entire board and then go into Boral Sword for the kill later. Apollosa is a negate that is often on my going first board. My going first board often looks like Rusty Bardiche, 2 Fog Blades, 1 Apollosa, and F0, and it's kind of fun that you have animations for F0 Utopic Future and 2 Draco, because Draco is so powerful, so hard to deal with. Lightning Storm doesn't get him off the board. Everybody was playing that free Lightning Storm on me, and then they go, wait, I didn't read that. He stays on the board, and that's how I won quite a few games. And then Cherubini, this is what you are commonly going up to with 2 level 3s that allows you to go into your engine with Bardiche. You're able to send Graph, which gets Seer. You have that then on the board with the Cherubini. You link up into this, and Seer activates, giving you this later for 2 free link materials to either go on the offensive with Boral Sword or set up your board with a negation. Now, if you go over here, you see I have tons of ultra rares, including shiny ones that I don't quite want yet to craft into material, because I am thinking there could be future tournaments in other formats. Like I have a Thunder King. If they take a survey and 2011 Plant wins, I want to be able to play in that tournament depending on the prizes that could be in Master Duel. There's rumors of physical prizes for tournaments. That hasn't come to fruition yet, but Konami did promise a Worlds level tournament was in the pipework, and I think that could be excellent to play in, and that would probably be whatever current format is on Master Duel at the time. But I think they plan a ton of different tournament lines, and I wonder what kind of prizes they will have for those. But you can see I have access to access code. I've also gone for certain staples or pulled other cards for combos later in the game that I don't want to craft yet, so I have tons of crafting material here. I also have 110 ultra rare craft saved up. Super rare craft is very underestimated. This you can spin through fast and go, wait, what happened to it all? Because a lot of nice cards like Desires and like Droll and Lock are super rares. I think people really underestimate how valuable that is. So again, on gems, I'm saving up for the future. I went with one deck, and I have a lot of pieces of other decks I could get into. Like, I think I could have this. I could have full power Pendulums and full power Eldritch, as I have 3 of the Eldritch, but I don't really want to be flipping Skill Drain and Vanity's Emptiness. Now, how to grind free gems? First off, get the Gold Duel Pass. It is so worth it. It will pay itself back in gems eventually to you if you are active in this game, while giving you a ton of crafting material and some awesome freebies along the way. And then also grind solo mode for a ton of these free icons slash, they call them duel mates. I'm gonna call them duel buddies. But in the free solo mode, you're able to get this little Raven, and on details, you can actually check these guys out. This guy is so creepy cute. He goes with the ritual archetypes. And then you have Sangan, which you don't earn through that. I think you earn it through just battling and unlocking. I forget specifically on that. This is in the final lore stuff, the Guard Dragon, which is my buddy right now, and I think he's just so cute and awesome. You have Pot of Greed, which you do by completing the Duel Pass, and then again, that creepy Spirit of the Pot in there. The Girgiano and the Karakuri Barrel are also in the solo mode, and also you get unique animations for some of these by coming in here that aren't always happening happening on the field. I think this guy's extremely well done. And then the Cleefort monolith is in the Cleefort lore. So let's actually go look at solo mode and see some of the gems that you can be grinding and getting, because that also can't be underestimated. So over in solo mode, after the practice, you have a lot of lore unlocks. You just go through and you start collecting these different attribute tokens slash stuff, and you'll be able to unlock doors once you acquire those. And at the end, if you use your personal deck, you flip over to this, you can get 200 gems at the end of each of these. There's a different reward for beating all these, such as 2 packs that I haven't really done. Those legacy packs aren't all that worth it, but with your own deck, you can earn those, and with the loner, you can get more of those dark attribute tokens that you might need to unlock future gates. So you'll have to be playing with the practice deck some that they give you, and then also using your own deck to get some of these awesome rewards. But for example, like those duel buddies later on down here, the Gears of Justice offers that Geargiano, and when he's on the field, every time you click him, he throws rock, paper, or scissors, which is kind of funny, but he is right here acquired. You had to use the loner deck to get him though, and at the end of all these, 200 gems is going to be acquired. So if you are playing all of the solo modes and getting all of those 200 gems, luckily with your deck, that's 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000 right there. That's 10 packs. 2, 4, 6, 8. Another 10 packs, guaranteed ultra. 2, 4, 6, and then 8, because there's a 2-parter to the World Legacy lore. And at the very end over here, you get the Guard Dragon buddy. And boy, they did not baby down any of the lore. I've got to hand it to them, but I believe he's either up here or down there. Oh, this is the field. You actually get the free duel field from that one, and over here is the little duel buddy, the Guard Dragon. So what do you guys think about Master Duel? I think it's very great to start. They're very generous in allowing you to play competitive and build up your deck as a free-to-play warrior. I've saved up plenty of gems and crafting material, so I'm happy while having a deck, and I could go into Requiem over Raiders Night, spend 30 of my credits on that, but I don't know if this is the deck I want to stick with if I'm doing tournaments. I got it to grind. I grind it fast. It has a great matchup against a lot of the meta, especially with the hand traps that I've gotten that I also can implement in other decks if I want to max out in the future. But I didn't want to give into Maxi yet in case they update and split different tournaments into having TCG format, OCG format. I don't know that I want to commit to certain cards in this, because let's face it, the real TCG ban list is waiting to drop, and that might influence this game. Or they could keep it as is so that there's always somebody to duel. You're on at 2 a.m. Oh, well, you'll duel somebody from Japan, as there's less hype and you're waiting in queues to duel people. They want to keep it active, so they might keep it under one list. There's a lot of maybes, ifs, ands, and buts on the future, but math is one thing I'm really good at, and you don't want to be spending too much on this game in the future. Let me know if you're free to play warrior like me. What do you think if you are? Don't waste your gems early for sure, and try to stack them up is my opinion. But how have you been going in the game? I've seen tons of the content creators. I spent $750, I spent $1,000, like almost with pride, and I'm like, I did all this spending absolutely nothing. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll keep up Master Duel content on here and there. Please like the video if you enjoyed the discussion, and let me know what you think of Master Duel in general.